good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you split. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing the Bitcoin rally, or in this case, the Bitcoin correction over the last couple of days. We talked about yesterday and the day before and the day before that how there was likely going to be some kind of a correction on Bitcoin and Ethereum, the major power players in the cryptocurrency space this week. In fact, I even drew some things on the chart that almost played out exactly over on Cardano that we'll talk about a little bit later. A lot of people are very concerned about this. Is the Bitcoin rally over? Is Ethereum about to crash? Are these two projects done with their 50% rally? Are we not heading to $50,000? Is Bitcoin really not going to 65 in the next couple of months? We're going to discuss all of that and more in this video. We're going to be going over the technicals, and we also have three massive adoption stories on Bitcoin that we're going to discuss a little bit later on in the show. We're talking massive adoption stories. One of them, I'll just go ahead and give you the headline. Messi, the GOAT of soccer, is taking payment partially in crypto. If you're a soccer fan, or as the rest of the world calls, all the communists out there call it, football. I'm joking, by the way. Oof. Don't come at me. That was a joke. It's playful. I love you guys. I think soccer, but it's called soccer, is a good sport. And we also have to talk about a $200,000 price prediction that one analyst has for the end of the year. He thinks that if we break 65K, we're headed straight to 200. We're going to discuss that later on. We got a lot of great content lined up for you today. Make sure to smash that like button. Let's get to 250 likes even before we start. I am joined, as always, by my co-host and your president, Kinda Crypto Tim. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, guys? I gotta correct Jeb real quick. As much as I love me some American football, football existed before. We can't just change the name to soccer just because we invented a new sport. So it's football.
Cop out. That's
it's
a cop.
football.
That is a
they
cop
were
out.
there first. First come, first serve.
That doesn't sound very American of you.
No, sound very American to me, Tim.
I loved the Messi news. I was already a massive Messi fan. Watching his interview with Barcelona made me love him even more. I'm sad for Barcelona.
Yep.
Excited for PSG. That's going to be a stupidly fun team to watch play.
Oh, yeah. PSG is about to be a big team because of that.
It's going to be so good.
Messi is worth $400 million, by the way, and part of that net worth looks like it's going to be transitioning into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That is just one of our major adoption stories that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. There's FUD going on in the cryptocurrency space right now because crypto has dropped 2%, as if that's a bad thing after we've just rallied 50%. We're going to get to all of that, but before we do, we are also joined, as always, by our producer, Smay. How you doing, Smay?
Hello, everybody. I like you guys a lot. And,
yeah. Smay, what should they do? What should the audience do?
I think they should like the button stream.
I think they should like the stream. I think that's a good idea.
That's
If you
a
haven't
good
already
button to
liked the
hit.
stream, let's hit those like buttons. Let's see if we can't get up. Those like buttons, there's only one of them. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get up to 500 here in the next little bit. Let's go ahead and kick off the stream with some Bitcoin TA. A lot of people are very concerned about Bitcoin, and I want to assuage those fears. As you guys know, it is one of our big missions here to bring you the bullish news, the bearish news, the bullish technicals, the bearish technicals, the bullish on-chain, the bearish on-chain, so that you can get all the information, so that you can come to a well-informed conclusion on what you think the market's going to do next. So let's do that here on Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin about to go through some massive flash crash and dump down to $20,000? Or is this the healthy correction that we have been calling for the last week and a half? Let's look on. Bitcoin right now, or as of yesterday, was in a rising wedge right here. For anyone who has not gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, a wedge, which we talk about in this video right here on wedges and pennants, is what you see whenever there is an uptrending level of resistance and a converging uptrending level of support. Now, we're not talking about a pattern like this. This is called a ascending megaphone is what a lot of people would call this. Those aren't very common, but what we're looking at right now, because these two trend lines, this red resistance and this blue support, they're converging. They're both moving to the upside. We're looking at what is known as a bearish wedge. You might think, Jeb, why is it a bearish wedge if it's pointing to the upside? Shouldn't it be called a bullish wedge? No, it is an ascending wedge because it's moving up, but it's actually a bearish pattern. Analysts throughout history have gone and done back analysis on a plethora of markets, going all the way back to the Dow Jones Industrial and Rail averages that were commonly analyzed 100 years ago. Technical analysis is a very old sport and an art, and whenever you go back and do analysis on certain patterns, you find certain trends. One of the trends that analysts have found over the decades is that ascending wedges like this, 70% of the time, seem to break to the downside. We had made the prediction a couple of days ago that Bitcoin was going to break bearish out of this wedge based on that factor and based on a plethora of other ones. We can see that that is what occurred. We broke bearish out of it starting yesterday, around 1600 hours. That's 4 o'clock in the afternoon for anyone in Eastern Standard Time Zone. And over the last 20 hours, we have pulled back 5% on Bitcoin. We're actually seeing something very similar happen on Ethereum. We saw that there was a rising wedge on Ethereum. We predicted that it was going to break to the downside. And over the course of 16 to 20 hours, we saw a 6% correction. And this is shown up in total market capitalization also, because we actually rallied all the way up to 2 trillion. I almost said 2 billion. I'm missing 3 zeros there. We almost rallied all the way up to $2 trillion recently on total cryptocurrency market capitalization, but as a result of this correction, we have now pulled back a little bit. We're currently sitting at 1.87. If we zoom in here, you guys will see market capitalization briefly got up above 1.9. We got close to 2 trillion. We didn't actually breach it, but we got very close. We've had a slight pullback, and that is as a result of this correction. The question now, though, is what happens next? Because I told you guys that there is a slight chance that the fundamentals take all over and Bitcoin takes off and starts moonshotting. There is an opportunity for Bitcoin to do that, but I also said that the most likely thing that's going to occur here is that we're going to have a correction. Now, I gave price targets when I said that. I said that I expect Bitcoin to pull back probably between $42,000 and $44,000. We're sitting at $44,600 right now. So let's go ahead and talk about where Bitcoin might head next so that you guys can be informed on your trades and your investments, and also just for the sake of entertainment. Bitcoin has quite a bit of support underneath it right now. In fact, we talked about yesterday how the 200 daily simple moving average is a very, very important moving average that Bitcoin had briefly broken above. Unfortunately, this market has pulled back below the 200 daily simple moving average. For anyone who wasn't here in yesterday's stream, I'll go ahead and show you why this is such an impactful and important moving average. If we zoom out here and look at the long-term history of Bitcoin, Bitcoin almost always maintains above this trend line when we're in a bull market, and we're normally below it when we're in a bear market. Bitcoin is attempting at the moment to get back up above this moving average, but as you can see, as of this morning, we've now fallen back below it, meaning it has effectively operated as resistance. We got above it for a little while, but it is basically resistance, so we have now corrected. But as far as support levels, where might Bitcoin be going next? So $41,700 is a level of resistance that we saw set back on the 8th of January. We also saw it set here on the 14th of June, and we also saw roughly this territory, right around $42,400, set back on the 31st of July. We can also see the 20 daily exponential moving average is moving up to meet that. So I am expecting that Bitcoin is going to come down and meet one of these levels, probably around $42,000 to $43,000, and it'll more than likely bounce off of the 20 daily EMA as we did back over here on the 4th of August. So again, let's pause right quick. Let's give about 2 minutes and kind of tie everything I just set up into a nice, neat bow. I know I talk fast. I know we're talking about complicated things. I want to make sure anyone who's newer to technical analysis understands what we're saying. Number one, the thing you got to keep in mind, the Bitcoin fundamentals are incredibly strong right now. Remarkably strong. Bitcoin has a good opportunity to go to well over $100,000 in the next 12 months. In fact, there are arguments that we're going to talk about later on in this stream that it could go to 200,000 in the next 4 months. So don't get it twisted. Bitcoin is very bullish. That's the first thing. The second thing is that Bitcoin had a massive correction over the last 3 months, and we're now seemingly coming out of that. We're setting higher highs. Bitcoin is doing very well for itself. The market is very bullish, and it is very healthy right now. But the third thing to keep in mind is that for a rally to continue to be healthy, it has to have little corrections, little pit stops for gas. If you're traveling across the country, you got to stop for gas and snacks every once in a while. We use the analogy of a controlled burn oftentimes. The Forest Service in America learned, hey, if you try and stop all fires in a forest, what happens is a lot of dead debris builds up on the forest floor and it turns into a tinderbox, and eventually when lightning strikes, the whole thing goes up and you get a massive fire all at once instead of a bunch of little fires that are controlled. We want to have a bunch of little fires that are controlled because you can't avoid fire in a forest. It's going to happen. But what you can do is you can make sure it's manageable by having a bunch of them spread out instead of one massive one all at once. What we saw 3 months ago was we saw one massive fire all at once and Bitcoin dropped 50%. What we'd much rather see is a bunch of smaller little fires that are 10% but are more frequent. That's what we're seeing right now is we're seeing one of those little controlled burns keeping us safe. So I think that Bitcoin is going to pull back to around $42,000 to $43,000 based on the technicals that we've been looking at this entire week, based on our ascending wedge, based on the fact that Bitcoin needs to stay healthy by correcting, and also based on the fact that a lot of the people that are in profit right now are selling their Bitcoin in the short term looking for a lower entry price. I think we're heading back to 42 to 43,000. From there, I think we're going to bounce, rally above $46,000, and we will very quickly move towards 50K during the next 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. Tim, I want to hear your take on that. Where's the cryptocurrency market going next, and do you agree with my price target in the short term?
Yes, I mean, because that's what we talked about yesterday, that, it's playing out almost exactly the way we said it would. The thing I would say is, that I like that you say there's a range there, Jeb, between 42 and 43. Mm-hmm. My estimate was 42.5. I'm actually kind of in the boat of wondering if there's a lot of momentum that won't let us get that far. And what I mean by that is, first of all, if you're looking at the 4-hourly chart, there is bullish divergence, RSI divergence, beginning to play out. We haven't officially set a bottom yet, I don't think. I think we still go a little farther down. Either way, if you're comparing the bottoms of back on 4-hourly chart, okay, bottom of August 8th, and now where we are right now, we haven't officially set that bottom. But unless we set that bottom below the 42.5, which I don't think you, me, or anybody else here think that's going to happen, that's going to be big bullish RSI divergence.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
Also, we missed it because this happened. Today is the 12th. Back on the 7th, we missed it, and this is my bad. Maybe you discussed this, Jeb. The hash ribbons flashed by.
The hash ribbons flashed by. That's something that we meant to talk about, but we got talking about Ethereum. Yeah, let me show them that on the chart while you're talking. Keep going.
Yeah, so the combination of those two things, I believe potentially, I think we will drop down to 43 something. That's where it's really hard. Will we drop down to the 42? Like I said, that was my prediction yesterday, that I think we were going to go down to 42.5. And the reason for that is because that was a strong level of resistance during this accumulation phase that we have now turned into support. And a lot of times that's what whales do, is they find this sign of strength, which we hit our heads around the 46,000, close into 47,000. We hit our heads there, sign of strength. They sell a little bit, come back down to a level of support. They buy up a lot, and then we resume a massive rally. But with those technical indicators and the combination of the stories you're going to talk about here in a little bit with more adoption, it might be one of those things that's like, hey, we ain't going to have enough momentum to get down to those levels of support. Absolutely, it might be just ready to go ahead and let off now. But I do think we have a little bit left. The MACD even kind of shows we have probably a little bit left to go down before we resume. But with those massively bullish indicators, people who say like, oh, we're going to correct back down into the 30s, I'm like,
I don't see that at all.
I don't think that's going to happen at all.
I don't think that makes logical sense at all. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk really quickly about that hash ribbons cross, because like Tim said, we did neglect to mention that. But this is a pretty big deal. So let's look at the longer term history of the hash ribbons, explain what they are a little bit, and then we can look at what this means for crypto. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to ignore how this is actually calculated for a second so that I can explain the historical context of a hash ribbon's buy signal, but then we're going to go into kind of like what the hash ribbons are and give you a little bit of context on what they mean. So looking at the last 5 hash ribbons buy signals, we've just seen one right now, so we're not going to count this because we don't know what's going to happen for sure just yet. But let's look at the last 5 hash ribbons buy signals, because remember, technical analysis is all about looking at previous trends so that you can hopefully learn something about what will happen in the future, because a lot of times trends will continue. We saw a buy signal back in the beginning of 2019 in January. This buy signal was followed by the 2019 rally from 4,000 to 14,000. We also saw a buy signal here around the very end of 2019 in December. From there, we saw a pretty major rally. And by the way, it doesn't look that big, but that's actually a 50% rally in the span of 44 days. Next one we saw was in April of 2020. Almost immediately after we saw this buy signal, we rallied a lot. In fact, we can zoom in here and tell we rallied 35% in 15 days. Next buy signal we saw happened right here in July, and within just the span of a couple of days, we rallied from 9,000 all the way up to 13,000. That's a 42% rally. Here in the late December of 2020, we saw a rally, and it actually called a 250% move over the next 130 days. So the hash ribbons having a buy signal is a very big deal. So I'm not going to go into everything about what the hash ribbons is right now. We're actually planning on having a video on hash ribbons in our courses in the future. So make sure to sign up for CT2A if you want to learn more about these kinds of indicators and everything that we're doing here. The link is in the description. But the hash ribbons has to do with the total hash rate on Bitcoin. It makes a lot of sense that the hash ribbons have gone into a buy state because we saw a massive amount of hash rate on Bitcoin go offline when China banned Bitcoin mining a couple of months ago. A lot of those miners are now coming back online. In fact, there is an oil company, I think it's actually a natural gas company in China, in Canada, that is planning on bringing in thousands of Bitcoin miners and using like 100 megawatts of power to build massively, far and away, the largest mining platform, largest mining operation in the history of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of miners coming back online. I can even show you that really quickly. If we just type in hash rate Bitcoin, I can bring up, I believe it's blockchain.com where we look at it. Total hash rate on Bitcoin has been massively increasing ever since we hit our low back on the 1st of July. We pulled all the way down to 87 million terahash. We've rallied now to 112. Now, that's nowhere near the high that we saw of 180 million, but the point is that's increasing. In case you don't know what hash rate is, really briefly, hash rate is simply a way that we measure how much computational power is being put into the Bitcoin network. The more hash rate there is, the more secure the network is, the faster it's going to grow, the bigger the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency mining ecosystem is, and generally speaking, the higher the hash rate, the higher the price of Bitcoin. So the fact that we're seeing the hash rate rally like this is a very big sign, and it makes sense that we're seeing a buy signal as that hash rate is coming back online. We want to pay attention and take heed to these buy signals for the same reason we pay attention and take heed to Lux Algo buy signals. Looking back on history, doing some historical analysis, we find that it's actually a very powerful signal, and it's one that we should listen to because historically it has proven to be a very accurate trend. By the way, looking down here on the 4-hourly chart, I will point out that the Lux Algo signal here had a perfect buy signal here. I mean, this is literally about the best buy signal you could possibly get out of Lux Algo. And then we had this massive rally from this buy signal. We rallied 23% in the span of 7 days. If you don't have Lux Algo, you are missing out, my friend. You definitely need it for your technical analysis. Links in the description box down below. You can sign up and get 20% off with our coupon code JEB, J-E-B-B, at checkout. Best indicator I've ever used in my entire technical analysis career. You should definitely make sure to check it out. Anyway, it has not flashed a sell signal yet on the 4-hourly. I would reckon it has flashed one on the hourly chart. I would be surprised if it hasn't. Yeah, it did call this. Okay, so it called this correction. At this point, I'm so confident in the indicator that I can tell that it's going to call it correctly. But anyway, my point is here, we're seeing long-term buy signals and short-term sell signals. Long-term, we're very bullish. We're expecting to go back 50, 60, 65,000. Short-term in the next couple of days, sure, we might pull back down to that 42, 43, $43,500 region. Anywho, what do you think about all that, Tim? What does chat say? Drop a 1 in chat if you think Bitcoin's going to go up in the next 7 days, and 2 in chat if you think Bitcoin's going to go down in the next 7 days, and drop a like on the video if you're getting good information.
I think it's funny over the last couple of days when we had some negative feedback, and you know, it's always good to have negative feedback, learn from it, grow from it. But I think it's funny that when we predict corrections, people think that that means we're bearish. Like, corrections are part of bull rallies.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
I'm new to crypto, and I know that.
Yeah.
So, like, by no means have we ever, like, we don't, first of all, even when we have been bearish, we don't want to be bearish. We're only bearish when it's like, all right, guys, not a lot of good things looking out. But everything we've said in the last few days is still long-term very, very bullish.
Absolutely.
And it's good for the rally. I love what Chaz said. He says, his prediction is 50K by Monday. And I'm like, yeah, like
Maybe.
I think potentially. Like
there's a
I
chance,
think over today, tomorrow, and maybe a little bit of Saturday, we could continue to correct a little bit, meaning going down, and hit a springboard up to 50. I think we got to break through the 47.5, I think, is the really hard level of resistance at the moment that we need to clear. But after that, we
good.
Especially with what Bitcoin's doing fundamentally and technically, and again, if you compare the technicals, on-chain analysis, you look at what Wyckoff predicts based off, and he's not even alive anymore, what he says happens in the markets, Bitcoin is set to have a really, really big August, and I think a really big September as well.
Could you say that Wyckoff literally kills it? That's a morbid joke.
I don't know what I would be saying if I said it, so I don't think I'm going to say that.
That's true. That's a good idea.
You're saying the K word live on YouTube. Can you please not? Thank
That
you.
word, YouTube doesn't take that word seriously.
Okay, we're allowed to say that word. Okay.
We're allowed to say that word. It's the
No.
It's the C
No.
word we're not allowed to say.
Oh my gosh.
The
the K
news
word.
is what we talk about. Guys, if you're enjoying today's show, make sure to smash that like button. Let's read a couple chats. I want to see what chat's saying. We don't have any super chats just yet. That's a first. Oh, we do? Wait, there's a super chat?
We have some super chats.
Oh, well, let's read the super chats.
All right,
we do, yeah.
Let's see here. We got one from John Finnell.
John Fennell.
This is how Smay knows that they're super chats because free
About him.
Smay, give him his own show. Guess what, John?
Hold on. I want to say it.
Let him say it, yeah.
I wasn't gonna
Guys,
say anything. I was gonna okay.
Trying to Tim-splain over here.
guys, your lucky day has just arrived tomorrow.
Yeah, say just
Your
right.
has just arrived tomorrow.
You guys are getting a Smay show
Dun, dun.
with Tim as well, but mostly Smay show.
I'm just there to bring order. It's a Smay show.
Guys, and I would like to happily announce that tomorrow is going to be the inaugural episode, and it is indeed called Between Two Coins. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a way different pace than what you guys expect on this show, but the best part about it, and I mean it, this is the best part about it, you don't have to watch it. There you go.
Yep. So don't complain that we're giving you new content because you don't have to watch it. We also have a super chat from Daniel Stone here. Donated $5. Said, hey, gents. I sent you an email a couple days ago, and I mean it. I'd love to help out. Please see email. Either way, thank you guys for all you do. You rock. Daniel, I appreciate that. Let me check. I'll actually check really quickly. I'll find something to ask Tim to talk about, and then while he's talking about whatever he's going to talk about, I will look for that
and
email.
then the next one's about email too. And I know I know we've been on top of the emails, but I also know there's been some glitching with things. So I think we have to. I think our customer service team is working on fixing some of that. But 4 by Grace did the same thing, sent 2 emails to talk about Jesus and no response.
Oh, gosh.
So again, I know that there's a system we have to make it easier on us, but that system could be having little problems, but we will make sure by the end of the day we have that fixed.
Yeah, let's take a note on that.
Yes. No, that's something I was talking with them yesterday about.
Gotcha.
Another one from Tony 420, Toki Bulls, said, can you buy Lux Algo with Bitcoin?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they. I don't know if they can. To be honest with you, it's something that you'd have to check out on their website. Definitely check that out. We can look into that, but I don't think so. I could be wrong. I think it's kind of difficult. Right now, there's not a lot of software infrastructure for taking recurring payments in Bitcoin, which is the difficult thing. I'm sure if it was a one-time thing, it's not. It's a subscription model. Then they'd probably allow it. But yeah, I'm not sure. Michael Amato donated $5. We got a lot of super chats coming in now. It's funny how everybody starts super chatting when we read them. I mean, it makes sense. Donated $5. Said, good morning, guys. Joined the Jebanites a few weeks ago. Love the great content. I'm actually hoping for a pullback. I think it's super healthy for Bitcoin. I totally agree with you. Absolutely, my friend. Matt Wood donated £2 said, do you have a prediction for BTC and the bear market? I would be surprised if we go back below $20,000 ever again. Frankly, I'd kind of be surprised if we ever go below $30,000 again. I think the bear market is a lot farther out than a lot of other analysts here on the space.
You know what I was looking at? I saw on Glassnode that right now the amount of it's like the amount of wallets holding Gosh, I might butcher this. I think it's the amount of wallets holding right now is the same number as back when we were at 13,000 a year ago.
That's
so
really
literally,
good.
it's like we've reset to where we were last year at 13,000 as a cryptocurrency. We're sitting at that same stability and hodling and strong mentality.
What he's talking about is one of the metrics that we use to get an idea and a feel for the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin. That means that in theory, the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin has tripled in 12 months.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for anyone who's planning on selling lately, because I think you'd be making a mistake. Navasa donated $5, said, from the 5-minute to the weekly chart, so everything in between, Lux Algo has been a blessing for me. Day trader here, investment and margin accounts plus 25% due to Lux Algo since Sunday. That's 5 days ago, and he's up 25%. Guys, Lux Algo will pay for itself in like one trade if you're a day trader. It is such a good indicator. That's the only reason we're sponsored by them, is because you guys are getting a lot of value out of it. Check the link in the description box down below. If you're in CT2A, we have a video going over the basics of how to actually use the technical indicator. If you're in CT2A, you already have access to that video, so make sure to check that out. Good to hear it, Navasa. Drop a 1 in chat if you're using Lux Algo and you're loving it. I know a lot of you guys are. Corey donated $5, and after this, if we have any more, we're going to pause. We're going to go to our news. But Corey donated $5, said, healthy consolidation just allows me to increase my positioning. Keep up the good work, fellas. God bless. God bless you, Corey. I appreciate that donation and the blessing. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. That's why corrections and consolidations can be a blessing in disguise, or just a blessing, to be honest with you, if you've been here for a while. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to smash that like button. We're going to jump into some news, and we've got a take here from CoinDesk. This isn't so much news, but it is a take, and we want to talk about it. By taxing crypto, the U.S. government has accepted it's here to stay. This is something that I honestly had not even given thought to, and I don't think anybody in the crypto space has really given thought to about Bitcoin and this infrastructure bill. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but it's actually really important to think about. There's a silver lining in Congress's efforts to impose a tax on crypto transactions. The U.S. finally accepts crypto as part of the economy. It accepts it's here to stay. Crypto just experienced a major watershed moment, and it's time to recognize the silver lining. A lot of people aren't happy about the regulation that passed on Tuesday, but the fact of the matter is, what we're about to say is true. Crypto suddenly became part of the U.S. Senate's debate over the infrastructure bill, and the outcome, in my view, is the greatest regulatory certainty crypto has ever had in the U.S. history. We have been talking about regulatory clarity and certainty for the last 4 years that we've been operating this channel. Having business have an understanding of how they're going to be taxed and regulated in cryptocurrency is one of the biggest gate and keys to the adoption and the success of cryptocurrency. If you want Bitcoin and crypto to succeed, you have to have small, medium, and large business understand how they're going to be taxed. I'll be honest with you, we run a business here, and we obviously hold a lot of crypto assets. It is a nightmare to try and figure out how it's actually going to be taxed, how it's going to be tracked. There's issues with like every single payout in crypto is a taxable event. So we had like last year, I think we had like 4,000 individual transactions that we had to add up and deal with. It is a mess. It's a nightmare. We need to see this regulatory clarity. We need to see regulatory certainty. Like it or not, regulation is coming, and I've said for a very long time that as soon as the government gets their hands on Bitcoin, it's probably not going to be great, but the fact of the matter is it's coming, and at least the silver lining is we'll know what we're talking about. What we see here is really important, though. Here's the silver lining, and for me, a huge aha moment. If the U.S. government thinks it is going to raise $28 billion in taxes from the cryptocurrency industry in the next 10 years, keyword is in the next 10 years, key phrase, it means crypto is here to stay. It means crypto is going to be a new cornerstone of the U.S. economy. That is a big statement. That is a, like, my hair on my arm is standing up right now. You don't have to zoom in because it'd be creepy, but, like, that is hair stands up on the back of your neck kind of news. That is a very big point. Altcoin Daily, I don't remember if it was Aaron or Austin. I was talking to Austin. I don't remember which one of them it was, but I was talking to them on Around the Blockchain, and they talked about how PayPal is very much in cahoots with the Federal Reserve, and not in cahoots in a bad way, but they're very familiar with the way that the United States does business because they're a regulated financial services entity. So they kind of know what's going on behind the scenes. PayPal would not be launching all of these services on Venmo and on PayPal proper and growing their business on the back of cryptocurrency if they thought it was about to be regulated into oblivion. If they thought crypto was about to die, that would not happen. They would not be pushing these products. You might not be able to say the same thing about other companies like a Starbucks, but a lot of these major institutions, not just PayPal, but also Bakkt, which is owned by the Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, owns the New York Stock Exchange. I guarantee you they know what's going on in the background with U.S. economics. These major organizations would not be building cryptocurrency platforms and adopting crypto if they thought it was going to go away. We have a solid launch pad for the future of crypto. And clearly, this is being taken seriously. By the way, I've been in crypto for 4 years. This is being taken 100 times more seriously than it was. Bitcoin was a novelty when I got into crypto 4 years ago. 4 years is not a long time, guys. Look at what has happened in the last 4 years. Bitcoin's baseline for price went from $3,000 to $30,000 in 4 years. When was the last time you saw a market 10x in 4 years? That's actually, I think it might be faster growth than the internet. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is growing so remarkably quickly. $100,000 is around the corner, and I think $250,000 could be just 4 years out. Truth be told, I wouldn't be surprised if it came faster than that, because as we've talked about, there is a bell curve of adoption. Right around the time you hit 13.5% adoption, generally speaking, the dominoes start falling, things fall into place, and a new technology takes off like crazy. And this is what you see at the beginning of a new technology taking over a part of a nation. You saw landmark, groundbreaking, beginning legislation coming out for the internet in the mid-90s. Guess what happened? That was right around the time that turning point was happening. That was that inflection point where we start going from kind of linear growth to exponential growth. Massive markets are about to start investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and we're not going to want to miss out on it. So the title of this video is us talking about, hey, are you worried about the Bitcoin rally? Are you worried we're going to correct over the next couple of days? Here's my take on that. Don't be worried about it. Be very excited about Bitcoin, because yes, it might correct over the next couple of days, but I think, and frankly, I'm extremely confident that it's not going to continue and we are going to have a big rally. So anytime we correct, look to be buying more. You will be glad you did. Tim, what are your thoughts on that? Where do you think Bitcoin is heading in the next 10 years? What, just for fun, this is not financial advice. Tim, where do you think Bitcoin will be in 10 years? Not just price, but what is the world going to look like with crypto in 10 years from now?
I think the answer to that question would have to be take into account what happens with things like what's happening in El Salvador. If we see a massive, because I do think long term we're going to see a lot of countries adopt it. The question is how many within the next 10 years. If it's just El Salvador and maybe one or two other countries, I could see Bitcoin potentially making it in the next 10 years up to, if not a million, close, right underneath it maybe. If it's more, and if it's bigger countries, like we've seen some countries in Africa
Brazil or
explain interest
Argentina or
in,
Nigeria, yeah.
We're looking at potentially 5, maybe 5 or 6 million, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, that would be a 20x from where we are right now. And by the way, I've lived through a 20x in crypto, because I bought in at 3,000 and went to 65,000. It can happen again, and Bitcoin can go to a multi-$10 trillion market, and it's actually more likely that it's going to than not, in my opinion. And by the way, this was pointed out on Tuesday on ATBS. Ethereum has been growing faster than Bitcoin for a very long time now. If Bitcoin goes to $6 million, imagine where Ethereum might go to. Ethereum could be in the multi-$100,000 a coin. I would not be surprised if Ethereum was trading at $10,000 in the next 12 months with the way that EIP 1559 is coming out and Ethereum 2.0. I made this point on Tuesday over on the show. If Ethereum is at $3,200 right now, largely based on speculation, like we talk all the time about stuff that happens on Ethereum, DeFi, NFTs, all of this. The vast majority of what's built on Ethereum doesn't work, because it can't handle the transaction throughput because the fees are so freaking expensive. When when ETH 2.0 comes out and we're actually finally able to do things on Ethereum that we've had promised to us for the last 8 years, oh my gosh. Imagine what happens when a $250 billion market actually starts doing what it was put in place to do. Ethereum does some things right now, but nowhere near what is promised because of the limitations that it has. That's going to change. And when it does, Ethereum's going to moonshot. Plain and simple. Ethereum's going to 10x in the next 3 years, in my humble opinion. In fact, it might do even more than that. I'm not trying to be a moon boy, but I do understand the fundamentals of these projects, and I know that they're very, very strong. This is why we talk about adoption so much here on this channel, because while it is important to take note of the short term, it is important to figure out what's going to happen in the next 7 days so you can make profitable trades, so that you're not accidentally investing at the wrong time, so you're not going to get stopped out of a short position or a long position. The short-term metrics are incredibly important, but we mustn't forget the forest for the trees. We have to look correctly at this market and look at the long term and make sure we're keeping the big picture in mind. And the big picture right now is absolutely incredible. You know what else would be incredible? If you hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 1,250 likes here in the next couple of minutes. And also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. This is the academy that we have been running for nearly 3 years now. It turns 3 years old on September 23rd. We have nearly 5,000 students who have gone through CT2A, through our more than 40 videos and 15 hours of high-quality educational content, and learned what they need to know to become profitable traders in cryptocurrency and in broader markets. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis, because it is the most powerful tool for predicting short, medium, and long-term movements in markets, period, not just crypto, but also the stock market, you need to join. And the reason is because you want to make money in crypto. Drop a 1 in chat if you want to make money in crypto. We're probably about to see how many people are watching. 2,300. We're probably about to see 2,300 ones in chat. We all all want to make money. We're all here for the tech, but we all want to be profitable. I have learned over the last 4 years how to profit in crypto, and TA is the best way to do so. We are the #1 academy in the entire cryptocurrency space for technical analysis, and you're missing out if you haven't joined. Drop a 77 in chat if you've gone through CT2A and you love every minute of it. Let's go ahead and read some super chats, Tim.
Yeah,
what do we got?
Before we get to super chats, because I've seen a lot of people in the chat just talking about this. Because I think Chaz even was like, yeah, you guys need to use that $20,000 of Bitcoin that Jeb found and get like team shirts and stuff. But I wasn't sure what he was saying. I was like merch or. And people went on chat like, we would love merch. If there was merch out there, we would buy it. So we also need to know how many of you guys, if there was Crypto Jeb merch, that you could have access to.
Drop a 90 in chat.
And there may or may not be some on the way.
Nah, we don't know about that.
We don't know.
That's
why I said I don't know. I said I don't know.
That is a rumor. We don't know about that.
I have no idea. I heard it.
It's a rumor.
I was in the bathroom. Somebody came to the stalls,
and what the heck?
They were talking about it on the phone, It
was a rumor.
That was the athlete first guy.
Yeah, he's always in the bathroom on his phone. I hope he's not watching.
Anyways,
I love you, Corey. You're awesome.
Wait a second. I do need to say something. Somebody did say... They said they want to know my 10-year Bitcoin.
Yeah,
prediction.
what's your 10-year Bitcoin?
So I'll go ahead and say it, guys.
You're
not gonna like it. My 10-year is somewhere between $700,000 and $900,000. That's my 10-year prediction.
Why wouldn't they like that?
Thank you. Well, because everyone's saying like 5 million,
6.
10 million, 1,100 million.
Well, that fits right in what I was saying. If we don't see multiple nations adopted as currency within 10 years, then yeah, I mean, I might sit closer to the 900,000 mark, but that was what I was saying. I was saying if we see multiple countries adopt it, is when we see 5 to 6 million.
I think even so, because I think the point is when it starts to become more and more of a currency and less of like a just moon boy and store value investment, I think it's probably going to end up starting to kind of stay at a level instead of just mooning. Now, the only thing that would change, I mean, I'm talking in today's dollar value. I'm going to make that statement because if we're talking like
we're talking in today's dollar value.
Yeah, and if we're talking inflation, then obviously it's going to be
million's easy.
It's going to a million's going to be easy. 2 million, then whatever. So, but I know I'm talking about today's dollar value. I could see it going to
my thing is El Salvador
700.
is a country that's pretty much not even really the size of all the large American cities, but we see American cities trying to adopt it for taxes and stuff.
Yeah, no, Miami-Dade is the same size as El Salvador.
When we see larger countries, which there have been some larger countries in discussion, they're at least
Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina.
There's only so much Bitcoin, and so for it to be being used on the daily basis to transact and to do things,
that moonshot's price.
I don't think that we could keep the price down to only $1 million and still have people able to use it. And that usage, even in today's U.S. dollar value, would shoot well over $1 million.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you guys. And like I said, we're going to talk about at the end of the show a $200,000 end-of-year Bitcoin price prediction, which I think is a little aggressive, but we'll talk about it. The number of Bitcoin in circulation is very small. The number of Bitcoin in circulation would mean that every El Salvadoran, if you excluded the rest of the world, could only have 3 of them. Like that alone, El Salvador could drive the price probably to $5,000. If not down, I'm saying if the rest of the world didn't exist. I'm not saying we're going to 5,000. I'm saying if Bitcoin literally only exists within the borders of El Salvador, it'd probably still be worth $5,000 a coin. So imagine what'll happen if you have a ton of other nations like Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, nations in Southeast Asia, Oceania, like maybe New Zealand can move that way. There's speculation, but the point is it could happen, and it probably will in some capacity.
Yeah.
With that said, let's move on
Back to
here.
Super Chats. We never even got into them.
Yep.
Corey said, healthy consolidating just allows me to increase my positioning.
Yep.
Keep up the good work, fellas. God bless.
Indeed.
Matt Wood said, love you guys. Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is full of hodling, why would we ever want a bear market? I get corrections, but being healthy, but why would there be a big downtrend?
Bear markets are, and that's a very good question. Why would we have bear markets? Bear markets are a result of the market getting overextended by a very unhealthy way. In the stock market, you don't see bear markets very much. Not because the market isn't overextended, but because the market is so stable in its overextension. There's a difference there. Bitcoin sees bear markets a lot of times because it builds on speculation and then it crashes on despair. that will slowly, in my opinion, start to taper off as we grow because of what you just said. If everybody's hodling it, if everybody's using it, then the market will stable out. Bear markets will likely not be the 60 or 70% dumps that we've seen in history as Bitcoin continues to grow. That's why if Bitcoin goes to 100K, I'd be surprised if we ever go below 50. You know, I would be surprised if the next bear market was more than a 40 or 45, maybe 50% correction because there is so much more use going on. But it's going to take people transacting it on the daily and people holding it, which is what we are currently seeing happen.
Yeah, I think there's also something to say about whales do a lot to also bring a bear market. They're constantly, like I said, according to what Richard Wyckoff developed for people, it's a constant movement for for whales to be accumulating and then dispersing and accumulating, and they're always doing both selling and buying. The question is the time segments of when they're selling more than they're buying and when they're buying more than they're selling. You're always going to see that. They're constantly going to be moving stuff on the
exchange
chain and off, on, off, on, off.
By the way, drop a heart in chat for Tim. 6 months ago, he didn't know left from right on technical analysis. He is catching up like crazy. He's doing really good. Tim, where did you learn all of that? Got to pat myself on the back a little bit. You learned from CT2A?
I learned from, I mean, CT2A was definitely in there too. But even to help
You've done so much
not
self-education. I don't want to take that away from
you. Community and education. Like, first of all, it's okay to be wrong. How many times have I been wrong? Give a 1 in chat for every time you've heard Tim say something that was wrong.
Give a 2 for Jeb.
It's wrong. Okay to be wrong and to learn from being wrong. But then to just be hungry, because that's what it is. My hunger led me to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to make time and go through CT2A. I work for a company that teaches this stuff. Why not go ahead and take advantage of it? Phenomenal. You know, were there some lesser free times in the week? Absolutely. But now, you know, and I'm not finished. Like I'm constantly going back through CT2A. I'm constantly going and watching other channels. I'm constantly reading reports by other experts because I want to know. And that's ultimately what it boils down to is I truly believe that every single person right now is doing exactly what they want to do. That doesn't mean you're accomplishing everything you want to accomplish, but if you set your mind to something and want to learn something and want to go through something, you will make the time, you will do the energy, you'll do the work.
Priorities.
You'll do anything you want to do in life. The question is, how much pain and fun are you willing to off-put?
My dad always told me, Jeb, you can do anything you put your mind to. And then every once in a while he would add, you're just going to have to fight for it, or you're just going to have to work for it, or something like that. And it's like, nothing's impossible, guys. And I want to, like, let's do a little heart-to-heart here for a second. Let's just be real. There are so many people in cryptocurrency who have been here for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Give me a 50 in chat if you relate to what I'm talking about, because I was this guy for a long time. I still am in a large way. That think, oh man, this is crazy. This is too big. I can't do this. This is becoming a millionaire in cryptocurrency, making a difference for myself, building passive income, building a life for me, myself, and my family, giving back to my community. You know, it's impossible. It's too big. Crypto's too complicated. How many people, give me a 50 in chat if this is you, how many people struggle with this? I expect every single person to say that, because that is the daily grind. And I want you to know that if that's you and you're feeling unconfident in yourself, you're not alone. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody has it figured out. Do you think the CEO of Google knows what the hell he's doing? Every single day, I promise you, he's trying to figure out the solution to a new problem that he's never run into. It's not uncommon. In fact, it's uncommon to not be in that position, and if you're not in that position, it's because your pride is blinding you. You don't know what you're doing. You just might think that you do. So if you don't know what you're doing, take heart. No one does. So just keep working, and you'll get there.
We have more. Do you want to go through more super chats?
We have more, but let's go ahead and read a couple of news articles. We will get to those very quickly. I'm going to kind of breeze through this. This one article is not that complicated, but I do want to talk about it. 55% of the world's top 100 banks reportedly have crypto and blockchain exposure. I'm going to leave it with the headline here, but I do want to bring that to your attention. Vast majority of banks are moving into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. This number was 0% realistically when I got into crypto. Now it has grown massively. I'll just leave it at that, but I do want to move on here because we also have another one that I know a lot of you guys are going to be very excited about. Soccer star Messi's latest contract reportedly includes crypto fan tokens. Tim, I know you know a lot more about communist football, so can you tell me a little bit about what this means?
You're going to lose people.
I'm going to lose so many subscribers on that.
Gosh. That was, for legal reasons, guys, that was a joke.
I wish that football was bigger in the United States.
It's a great sport, by the way. I love football.
I found it until more recently. I found it so hard to. I found it hard to get access to those games live. I could watch a lot of replays and stuff, but I love. It's funny looking at me. I'm built for American football. Obviously, that was my sport growing up. When I was younger, though, real football was my best sport.
I played football in elementary school.
The game is so beautiful. And what I love about Messi, fun facts here, this is a fun fact segment about Messi. He has his haters. He has his people against him. When you want to talk about a humble, non-confrontational person, there are so many reasons to love him. First of all, like the story of his wife, like that was his literally when he was like a 6-year-old, he had a crush on a girl, and now that's his wife.
Ooh.
Never been with anybody else. Like it's just a great story. And then watching that interview when he left Barcelona, I was just like, how does anyone in the world not love Messi? And right as you think you can't love the man anymore, he goes and says, I'm going to take my salary in Bitcoin.
And by the way, this is relating to Chili's.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
If you are in Chili's and you want to go get a PSG token, I would go get that token right now.
Yeah, right now that's a good investment.
Because the way that works, and that's what I love about it, is as a team does well, if you own tokens in that team and they win games, they burn tokens, which means every token you own goes up in price. And
yeah, I can read a little bit of an
There's going to be some amazing things happening.
I can read a little excerpt right here. With the exact details still shrouded in secrecy, the allocation in terms of the inclusion of crypto fan tokens in Messi's contract are unknown. Cointelegraph has reached out to PSG for comment, and they will update this article with further information should it be forthcoming. Blockchain firm Chili's, which operates the sports token platform Socios, on which PSG fan tokens are issued, has today revealed that PSG trading volume surged by over $1.2 billion in the days preceding the player's move. Fan tokens continue to be popular in global sports, with major Turkish multi-sports club, I have no idea how to pronounce that, completing initial pre-sale of 500,000 tokens on Ethereum this week. So this is a pretty big deal, guys. He's essentially working with PSG. PSG is working with Chili's, so he is going to be getting some of those Chili's tokens, it sounds like, some of those fan tokens on Chili's. So Messi is going to be involved in crypto in some capacity. We don't know fully what that capacity is going to be yet. A lot of this has not actually fully broken. This isn't a rumor. This is confirmed as far as I can tell, but we don't know a lot of the details. We will keep you up to date as those are forthcoming, but it looks like Messi might actually be a cryptocurrency fan. We don't know that part, but I would like to believe. Messi's a great guy. I'd love to see him in crypto. And by the way, if anybody has a connection to Messi, we would love to interview him here on the channel. I would love to talk to Messi. Tim, you would probably do a backflip if Messi came in this office.
He doesn't speak English, so I don't know how many...
señor, no hablo español, tú hablas inglés?
You know, like...
I know, that's literally that's the one sentence I know in Spanish.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he knows Spanish.
I will learn Spanish just to interview the man.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone on staff that speaks fluent Spanish?
My sister-in-law's from Argentina.
Manny does.
It's his first language. So,
yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So if we interviewed Messi, which would be
our CFO could interview him.
Manny would have to interview him.
That'd be awesome.
And that being said, guys, we have confirmed booked him for... No, I'm kidding.
We have booked Messi. He's on the channel.
So he's going to be coming.
Rumors.
The rumors.
Spreading rumors like crazy. All right, let's go ahead and read some more super chats.
Yes, here we go. We got one from Eric Leon saying, altcoins with the best possible ROI. I love Matic.
So... Matic's a good project. Matic actually bounced recently. I know a pastor who might be watching this, actually, if he's watching this. Shout out to Phil, who has Matic, and he's very happy because it went up. Matic's a good project as far as I can tell. I don't know everything about it, but it seems like a good project. It has to do with scalability on Ethereum, I believe. The one issue with that is, when ETH 2.0 comes out, where is it going to survive? Where is it going to live? I'll leave that aside. Frankly, I'd like to stay in the top 10 to answer this question, and I think that Ethereum is the answer to that. But there are also other cryptocurrencies in the top 10 that are phenomenal. Dogecoin, no, I'm kidding. Polkadot is a great cryptocurrency we've talked about quite a bit. Solana's not in the top 10, but it's a great cryptocurrency as well.
Yeah.
Internet Computer has done very well, very, very well. I'm not the most familiar with it, but it has a good opportunity to rally quite a bit. Those are a few of them. Give us a 7 in chat if you'd like to see more videos on altcoins and altcoin content for altcoins that you would like to see.
If you asked...
That was an interesting
If
sentence.
you asked... what is the official title of Greg?
Good question. His official title is... curriculum specialist. That's his technical term.
Yeah, he also does. If you ask him this question, he is super high right now on VeChain.
I miss Cardano, by the way. Cardano is one of them.
Yeah, when I heard the question, I kind of assumed we were not talking Ethereum or Cardano because those almost seem like givens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of great ones out there.
I gave the given.
Yeah. Terran Crypto said, Jeb, I love the show, dude. Rock on. Can we get 60 seconds on Osmosis, the Osmo token, and your take on the project? Live long and prosper.
I don't know anything about it, so if I gave you 60 seconds on it...
I can give him 60 seconds of Osmosis.
No, it's not going to be awesome. Yeah.
My gosh. I was about to say, you know about osmosis?
Yeah, I just did it.
No.
If I give you 60 seconds on it, it's not going to be.
You thought it was going to be a serious answer?
Yes, actually. He said, like, I could talk about NFTs before, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know anything about it, so if I give you 60 seconds on it, I might lead you in the wrong direction, so I think it'd be wrong of me to even do that, to be honest with you.
So you know how, like, in technical indicators, a lot of indicators
I do the
give
technicals on it,
they
but-
give you a 70% prediction?
Yeah.
There's a 30% chance that when Smay wants to chime in about something that it's going to be helpful. But I would say it's an indicator
He's an agent
of 70%
of chaos.
chance that
There's a
he just
70%
wants to
chance he's being chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos
Robert,
incarnate.
moving on. Robert Fisher said, "You trade crypto in an LLC and have taxable events. Does those gains offset costs like payroll?"
Those gains, first of all, I'm not a tax advisor, tax expert in any capacity, so don't take anything I'm saying as advice. All of our cryptocurrency are classified as assets, so we actually, obviously when we generate revenue in cryptocurrency, we have to report that as revenue, but our cryptocurrency stays purely in the form of assets. We have not sold cryptocurrency once as a company ever. We make sure that all of our revenue coming from US dollar sources is what maintains our expenditure here. We don't use it necessarily to offset expenses. Those more intricate tax questions we want to get our CFO or our CPA in here to talk about, but yeah, we don't sell anyway, put it that way. That wasn't a great answer to the question, but I don't have all those answers right in front of me, sorry.
All right, just one.
Whoa.
What?
I just caught you texting on stream. What's this about, Tim?
Yeah, Tim.
I have multiple jobs on this stream.
What's going on?
Multiple jobs.
I cut to you,
I am talking-
and you're not even engaged.
I'm reading this thing, and I just had my
You
phone in my
yawned
hand.
on stream like 3 weeks ago. What are you talking about?
I do that every day.
Listen,
I know.
I am when
It's
people ask
disrespectful.
comments, I gotta talk with support. I gotta talk with our sales team. I gotta talk with our head of marketing. I gotta tell with our. I
Who's
got
alive.
I got people to talk to.
Yeah, Tim's a busy man, guys. He's trying to run the company.
Trying to get things done here.
Tim is the president of the company. He's got to run
Anyway,
things.
phone to the side. Gymulator said, "Just want to show
That's a
support.
great name.
You guys rock."
That is a great name.
Yeah.
Thank you for that donation, Gymulator.
Gymulator. Dan Heaney said, "Long-term 5 to 10 year Cardano prediction. Love you guys."
$200 million.
Ooh, yes.
No, I'm joking. Long-term Cardano price prediction depends on if it's able to actually manage to outcompete Ethereum. If it does, freaking like $500 a token probably. If it can't, maybe $50 a token, a coin. It really depends so much on whether it outcompetes Ethereum at its own game. Whether or not it does, it's probably going to 50x from here at least in the next 5 to 10 years. Those all of them? We got more. We got
more. We got Matt
more.
C here. We got an interview with Plan B yesterday on Ben Cohen's channel.
Oh.
And it was a very interesting one to hear about the stock to flow model from the source himself. If you just zoom out, the future looks very bright for Bitcoin.
Oh, heck yeah. No, stock to flow
Absolutely.
model predicts like $10 million for Bitcoin by the end of the year, by the end of the decade.
I know that Jeb was talking about this on a video before, probably a week or two ago, where he says that the thing about stock to flow and Plan B is it is great. We still think we're on track to follow it. There will come a time, though, when that model of prediction will probably be outdated.
Yeah, and we see that over the history of the stock to flow divergence, the stock to flow divergence chart. Bitcoin has been gradually moving away from the stock to flow prediction, from going higher than the stock to flow prediction to going lower than the stock to flow prediction over the last 10 years. I've shown that chart on camera before. That's not to say stock to flow is a bad model. Stock to flow ratio, by the way, has nothing to do with the stock to flow price prediction that Plan B has put together. Those are two completely separate things. People attack Plan B's price prediction, and then they say, oh, stock to flow ratio doesn't matter. No. Stock to flow ratio is the most important metric for measuring the saleability of anything over time. Stock to flow ratio is the one reason why we know that gold has value. The stock to flow ratio is remarkably important. The stock to flow model is what we're talking about here. I think it's very accurate for the next 4, maybe 8 years through the next 1 or 2 halving events. From there, I think it's getting a little out of hand, but at the same time, it's based on, I think, 10 years ago US dollars. So if you don't adjust for inflation, then it actually might, if you do adjust for inflation, it might be right. Maybe we do go to $100 million on Bitcoin if the US dollar keeps getting inflated.
Yeah. 2 more super chats, and then unless there's a new one that popped up that I missed. Michael Amato said, "I don't see Bitcoin going under 30 unless there's some kind of black swan event or global economic collapse."
Yeah.
What do you guys think? That is funny because there are people who do think a black swan event's going to happen.
Yeah, there are people that think that. I don't think that we'd ever go below $30,000 again at this point. You never say never in crypto because you don't have any certainties until they've already happened. But I would be very surprised if that were to occur. I agree with him.
We did have another one just pop up, but we have one before there. Bob did say, when 1 Satoshi equals 1 cent, then 1 Bitcoin equals, what is the digits on that? $1 million.
You wrote $1 million, but it's actually $100 million because there's 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin.
I've never sat down to do the math on that.
Yeah, no, so it'd be $100 million, actually, I think.
Yeah, making sure.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the way the math works out. There's 8 digits, so.
All right, now the last one. Johaldi Quadra.
I think you got that.
Morning, wanted to get your thoughts on Uniswap. Where do you see it in the next 10 years?
So I don't know the most about Uniswap, but I will give you what I do know. It seems like a great project. It seems like it's getting a lot of use. I think it's going to do very well in the next 10 years, but in the same way that everything in capitalistic endeavors is subject to competition, there are a lot of competition. There are a lot of competitors for Uniswap. The question himself, Plan B himself said anyway, let me answer this question first. I think it's a good project. I think it's going to do very well. As far as an accurate price prediction, I can't really give you too much on that. Matt C said, Crypto Jeb, Plan B himself said he wouldn't model out more than 2 additional halvings. Okay, well, if he said that, then I'm in agreement with him because I think that that's a good, accurate representation of it. Yeah, in that case, then yeah, he's right. I didn't know that he said that, so that's good to know. I need to get Plan B, someone that we definitely could actually get on the channel. We need to reach out to him. I'd love to talk to him.
I'll get Greg on it.
Yeah, get Greg on it. Put Greg on that. Greg is a hound. He'll get anybody we want on this channel. Greg, we want the queen. We want the queen on the channel. We want to have tea and crumpets with the queen. Anyway, we have one more article, and then we got to go over our price predictions. But first, let's go over this guy's price prediction. Crypto analyst sees Bitcoin hit 200K by the year end if it breaks these key levels. Essentially, I'm going to be brief here. Justin Bennett, credit to him, over at Justin Bennett, 2 N's, 2 T's, and Bennett FX on Twitter, says that if Bitcoin breaks $65,000, the FOMO that will ensue will be unlike anything we've ever seen before, and we will skyrocket to 200K by the end of the year. To wrap out the stream here, Tim, I want to hear your take on this, and I want to hear Smay's take also. Do you think he's right? If we break 65K in the next month or two, are we heading back to 200K or going to 200K for the end of the year?
No, I don't think the two are correlated. I love that he is that optimistic, but I don't think the two are necessarily. I think if we went to 200,000, it wouldn't be because of that. I think it would be because of a lot of other things that play in as well. Mm-hmm. Again, only being in the space and really paying attention for the last 8 months, I have seen people make these outlandish predictions based off of a lot of hope, and without hope, we wouldn't be anything in a society. You know, if we thought everything was doom and gloom, life would be miserable. That being said, making these predictions based off of a hope is not the way to go. Let's worry about getting to 100 before we worry about getting to 200.
Yeah. So for my take, and then I want to hear Smay's take, I think that we are going to 200K. I don't think we're going to 200K this year.
Right. And that's what I was saying.
Which is what Tim is saying, obviously. I'm not disagreeing with him.
Yeah.
When we break $65,000, I think hype is going to ensue like we've never seen before. I agree with that statement. I don't think that hype can drive us to 200K in the span of 2 months because it's probably going to take at least 2 months to get back up above 65,000. Smay, I can see you're working on something over there. What do you think about 200K?
Yeah, I needed to make an illustration so I can show you guys. So according to this pattern right here, this bullish pattern, I think he's wrong. And if you can look at that little point, the little arrow I drew, that means that we're going to be going to maximum 80K by the end of the year.
That's some Smay TA right there. Give us a 1 in chat if you'd like to see some more Smay TA, Smay trading. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff like that coming out. In fact, Smay's going to be hosting his own show tomorrow. So, guys, make sure to watch out for that. Is it tomorrow or Saturday that's going up?
It is tomorrow.
Friday, so it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow
it's
at 6.
Tomorrow at 6. Oh, you guys are doing it at 6.
We're doing it live at 6.
Live at 6, guys.
Live at 6 p.m.
Live at 6. And hold on. Let me talk to my people real quick, guys. So, here's the thing. If you guys moseyed around the YouTube channels yesterday, you might have come across a post that asked for you guys to send roast of me and Tim. All right? that was not posted by Jeb, just so I can say.
It was not posted by me.
It was not posted by Jeb, so you don't have to get upset at Jeb for roasting his friends. But I will say, please, we are going to be using these comments. The best comments will be featured on the show, so please go and put as many mean comments in that post within like I said, don't hold back, but obviously, you know,
don't be a jerk.
Don't be a butthole. Like, you know, like be funny. Be funny.
If you're a butthole, we're just not going to talk.
We're going to review them on stream, and it's going to be a great time. So please make sure to check us out tomorrow at 6.
Yep.
And drop some mean comments on that community post. Thank you.
It's going to be fun. You guys should definitely tune in because
it's going to be a lot of fun.
One way or another, it's going to be great. It's either going to actually work. Imagine what Smay does on this show, like amplified for however long the show is. I think our thought is the show's only going to be like 30 to 45 minutes. Who knows if it goes a full hour just
Do you
because
guys even know what you're going to talk about? Is it just going to be mean tweet?
We've planned the show.
You got a plan? Okay.
But it's hard to know what the interaction is going to happen there.
Yeah.
Also, it's really hard to plan around Smay, and that's the beauty of that show.
That is the beauty of that show.
And
Smay's
that's
a
why
loose cannon.
you can't miss a single one of them.
You can't.
Because it will be glorious even if it's a train wreck.
Because it's designed to be a train wreck.
Yes,
That's the point.
And guys,
you lean into it.
And that's the very reason why, for all my haters out there, I have to tell you I'm telling you, the greatest part about the show is that it's Friday night, and that's after Jeb has hung up the hat for the week. So you guys don't have to watch if you don't want to, but I'd encourage you to watch it just
give it a chance.
Because I would almost
I'm going to be watching it live. I might be in chat.
I would appreciate if my haters were there. Right, I need Helvetica. I need you there. You know,
call them out.
I need you there hating on me because it drives me to be better. Thank you.
Yeah, just so people clarify, they asked 6 o'clock what time zone. We are in the Eastern
6
Standard
o'clock
Time.
Eastern. By the way, we go live here every single morning, 9:30 Eastern, so make sure to tune in for that. Guys, if you're enjoying today's show, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get like 1,500 likes here in the next couple of minutes. I know we can. We got 2,300 people in chat. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and here's why you want to do that. We are one of the fastest growing, in my opinion, best technical analysis channels on the entire cryptocurrency YouTube space. So if you want to learn technical analysis, we're also about to start doing a bunch of on-chain analysis, and we also talk about news. If you want to learn about all three of those things every single day, so you have the bullish and the bearish, so you know exactly what you need to know going into the day, this is the best way to start your day in TA. So check out that subscribe button. It's red. You can click it, and you will get updated on everything you need to know in cryptocurrency. And also make sure to tune in 6 o'clock on Friday. That's tomorrow Eastern for the Smay Show. It's going to be crazy. And also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. The link's down below. You got to take it. And the reason is because if you want to learn technical analysis and how to actually profit in these markets, it's the one-stop shop to learn everything you need to know. Drop a 1 in chat if you're a CT2A alumni and you love it. Also, make sure to follow us on our socials. You can see them right down here. That's all I got for you guys. Before we go, though, we have to go over Super Chats. Not Super Chats, I'm sorry. Price predictions.
Price predictions.
So,
at the moment, we'll go coin by coin.
We'll do it.
Bitcoin sitting at 44,177. It's actually below me, which is the lowest prediction of 44,563. And again, we think it could get even lower. So at this point, if nothing changes or if the direction doesn't change on Bitcoin, that will be a win for Tim. It's been a minute since I won Bitcoin, so I'm excited about that one. Poor Smay. He is in second place, but he has such a small window. He was winning this morning, but that wasn't Friday. Unless we see a massive rally, Jeb is probably not going to win that one because his prediction is the highest at 45,775. So we'll see what happens there. Tune in tomorrow to find out. Ethereum, at the moment, the winner of that would actually be Smay because we are sitting at 3,056. His prediction is 3,069.60. So unless we see a massive rally, looks like a pretty safe win for Smay. And then we come down to Cardano, which we are not close to. Well, I thought we were going to go up. Did not think we were going to go that high up, but I am the highest at $1.50, and it is $1.72. So at this point, it looks like a Tim win, but anything is possible. Fridays are crazy. We've seen Fridays bring massive dumps, massive rallies, so it is still anyone's game.
Who will get the HODL trophy? You'll have to tune in tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern to find out. Guys, that's all we got for you today. Before we go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, tune in this afternoon because we got some great afternoon videos coming out as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.